Hello, I'm Niboshi. Nice to meet you. I love apple pie, so today I'm making it. First, I'm going to make the dough. Making the dough is hard work that really makes my hands hurt. Sift the all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, and salt. Then add the butter and some leftover shortening from the last time I made apple pie and mix it in. Here's a little behind the scenes story. My wife told me shortening is very healthy. Whether that's true or not, this will probably be the last time I make crust using shortening. My wife actually has a Japanese pastry chef qualification, so she is my reliable partner, especially since I wasn't really interested in cooking until recently. I probably never would have bought my own baking tools if I wasn't married. After sifting the flour and the butter and shortening, then using a tool called a pastry blender, I'll cut the fat into the flour. This part is super tiring and the base of my thumb really starts to ache. Keep going until the butter pieces are small. Add cold water, mix briefly, and then use the pastry blender to gather it into a rough dough. This part always confuses me. It never seems to come together properly. By the way, I only started making apple pie about a month ago, and this is my fourth attempt. In the end, I just use my hands to form it into a ball. Okay, the dough needs to chill in the fridge. Wrap it tightly in plastic wrap, trying not to let it touch the air, and flatten it into a disc about 2 or 3 centimeters thick. Chill it in the fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour. And while it's chilling, let's go buy some apples at the nearby supermarket. It's kind of hard to make apple pie without them, right? Okay, I bought them. The recipe says 1 apple, but I think more apples are better, so I'm using 2. Next, I'll make the filling, which is like the apple mixture. Add brown sugar, granulated sugar, all-purpose flour, nutmeg, cinnamon, and lemon juice. Here's something I learned from my last failure. It's not good to pour the filling ingredients directly onto the apples. It's better to mix the dry filling ingredients together first. Even better, add the lemon juice after mixing the dry ingredients. Something I learned this time. Peeling the apples, even just 2, is quite a bit of work. I looked up how to core apples on YouTube and found what looks like a more efficient way. So I'll try that. Maybe I should have said this first, but I'm not a cooking expert, so I'm not making this video with the intention of teaching you how to make apple pie. But I think it's weird to just chat without mentioning the cooking, so I'll tell you what step I'm doing. So, if you want to make apple pie, I think it's better to watch someone else's video. You should probably think of this as an experimental lab. I hope I'm not saying anything too crazy since this is my first try at a cooking video. Okay, I'm done cutting the apples. Now, coat the cleaned apples with the filling mixture. I'm mixing with a spoon, but it's not mixing well. I really should have added the lemon juice later. I'll use my hands in the end. This is the most efficient way. I think all the apples are evenly coated with filling now. Okay, I didn't time it exactly, but the time it took to go buy apples and make the filling must be over an hour combined. That should be enough time for the dough to chill. I'll roll out one of the 2 pieces of dough. At first, the dough is still crumbly, so I roll it out and fold it over repeatedly to make it less likely to fall apart. I always wonder Are skilled bakers dough always perfect at this stage? The crust of the last apple pie I made seemed a bit thin and quite a bit of filling leaked out when it baked. So this time I'm trying to make the crust a little thicker. The pie pan is round, but I can't make the dough round just by using a rolling pin. I think this task requires a lot of experience. I used to like strawberry cake, but I think when I was in middle school, my mom made apple pie instead of a Christmas cake. That's when I started liking apple pie. And now, at 25, I've become an apple pie crazy boy, attempting it 4 times in 2 months. The people I'm feeding it to my wife's family might be getting tired of it, but until the process is ingrained in me, I plan to keep baking apple pie. By the way, regarding cooking, not just baking, I always make the same dishes. My specialties are carbonara and omurice. I'd like to show you them sometimes. Of course, don't expect them to look amazing, okay? Okay, once it's rolled out, fit it into the pan. Trim the parts hanging over the edge using the rolling pin. And pat up the parts where the dough is too thin to cover it up. Nobody sees the inside of the apple pie crust. This step is just for my own satisfaction. If you were served this apple pie in a shop, you'd be allowed to get angry. Let's put the apples into the crust. Make sure to get all the juice in there too. Mistake point for this time. Spread the apples evenly. Make sure they are uniform across the whole apple pie. When making the top crust, the bumps will get in the way and make it difficult to create the lattice pattern. The final steps, the most fun part begins, making the pattern. Roll out the other piece of dough that was chilling in the fridge. Measure exactly 1.5 centimeters and cut stripes. Since I'm like a barbarian roaming the wilderness, I'll probably never use these rulers as a ruler again. The dough is bumpy, so I can't lay the ruler down straight. Maybe I made the first part too thick. It looks like I might run out of dough, so I brought out the leftover dough from last time. It was frozen, so I can't roll it out. It's useless. 네. Okay, I did it. A beautiful pattern is complete. Finally, use a brush to apply the egg yolk milk. According to the recipe, you can also use milk. Let's keep it relaxed. Today, it's egg. My thoughts after making apple pie 4 times are, no matter how you make it, it always tastes delicious. You probably don't need to worry about the shortening or the exact amount of flour. It will turn out delicious anyway, I'm sure. Comparing the first and fourth attempts, I honestly can't tell which one tasted better. Anyway, it turned out delicious, so it's all good. Thank you for watching my video today. This was my first cooking video. How was it? I'll try studying other people's cooking videos to see how they edit, what they talk about, etc. If you liked it, please subscribe my channel. Please feel free to leave comments with questions or your thoughts. Uh, Having fun interacting with viewers is also something I want to do. So please do. Well then, I'll see you in the next video. ありがとうございました。